Reddit reported quarterly financial results after the stock markets closed on Thursday, May 1st. That sent the stock price soaring. Of course, I'm happy about that. I've had Reddit stock rated as a buy all year long in 2025. So far, my social media picks are 2 out of 3. I've had Meta Platforms, Reddit, and Snap rated as a buy. Reddit and Meta Platforms reported excellent earnings. Their stock prices rose. Snap reported poor results. Its stock price fell. I've had all 3 of them rated as a buy. But let's focus on Reddit here. I'll review the company's latest quarterly results, and I'll update my buy recommendation on Reddit and let you know if I still think it's a buy following these results. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now. So the company said that over 400 million people are now checking in with Reddit each week. That's a pretty large user base, and more importantly, the company's growing users from the most lucrative segment that I've talked extensively about with social media companies. You want to be growing in the United States and in North America. That's the most lucrative user base. That's the user base that marketers are willing to pay the most money to show advertisements to. Speaking of revenue, the company's total revenue increased by 61% to $392 million. This is far and above those other social media companies I highlighted. Meta Platforms increased revenue by 16% in the most recent quarter. Snap reported a 14% increase. So with Reddit growing by 61%, they roughly 4x'd those other players. So they're gaining market share and gaining market share fast. Furthermore, they're generating strong cash flow from operations even while gaining significant revenue. So they're not spending so much money to gain that revenue growth, right? This is organic revenue growth. Operating cash flow jumped to $128 million, an improvement of $95.5 million from the same quarter last year. So this was roughly a 4x increase in operating cash flow. Looking ahead, the company expects similarly strong results in the second quarter with revenue forecast of $420 million and adjusted EBITDA of $120 million. This would be similar to the previous quarter. Sequentially, it would be increases of roughly $20 million on both revenue and adjusted EBITDA if they actually report the numbers they're forecasting here. And it's especially impressive given the macroeconomic uncertainty. Snap didn't even report a guidance for the second quarter. They were so uncertain about the upcoming macroeconomic volatility. But not only is Reddit giving you the outlook, but they're also reporting a strong outlook, signaling that marketers are still spending with Reddit and spending an increasing amount. All right, so let's look at growth in the breakdown of regions. So globally, they increased their daily active user total by 31% to 108 million. But more impressively, they grew by 21% in the United States. They added roughly 9 million users from the United States, growing from 41.5 million to 50 million in the most recent quarter. Snap actually reported a decline in this metric from 100 million down to 99 million. So let me share with you why this is the most lucrative segment. So here I have the reported average revenue per user from Reddit. And you can see from the US, the average revenue per user increased by 31% to $6.27. That's compared to the international user base, which increased by 22%, but the average revenue per user is only $1.34. So they're generating 5 times more revenue from users in the US than they are from users outside of the US. And this is true for every single social media company. Users from the US are many times more profitable, more lucrative than users from outside of the United States. That's why I talk a lot about how critical it is for these companies to grow users from the United States. And Reddit is the one company out of all of the social media companies that's growing percentage-wise the most in the United States. And that's what has investors very excited about this business. It's truly a premium business that's delivering premium results. I mentioned that I've had the stock rated as a buy, and partly because of the valuation as well as the excellent growth. So when I calculated the intrinsic value per share for Reddit, I found it to be worth $261 a share. The current market price is $118, $119 per share. If you account for the significant share price increase in the aftermarket hours, which is not updated yet on this spreadsheet because this spreadsheet has the embedded formula that updates the market price during trading hours, not in the aftermarket hours. And so even if you account for that increase, it's still significantly undervalued. Now, I'm not going to go through a step-by-step detail of this calculation. If you want access to that, you join my channel as a channel member, and there are dozens and dozens of videos highlighting step-by-step calculations of discounted cash flows for companies like Reddit. So I like to look at valuation from another perspective as well. And I like to go to finchat.io to get the forward price to earnings numbers. And for Reddit, it's trading at a forward price to earnings of 116, which is expensive, which is super expensive. But in my opinion, this is the kind of business that deserves this kind of a premium valuation. If you're going to trade at a forward PE of 116, you better be giving me as an investor all of these excellent metrics like excellent revenue growth, excellent profit improvement, excellent cash flow improvement, solid performance across very important metrics like the daily active user number from the United States, be operating in an excellent industry with a large total addressable market like Reddit operates in, right? The advertising market is roughly $1 trillion market. So it checks all the boxes of the things I would look for from a business that's trading at a super premium valuation. So I had the stock rated as a buy all year long in 2025, and following these excellent earnings results, I'm going to reiterate my buy recommendation and let you know I still like the stock at current valuations. I think it's an excellent business for long-term investors that are looking for a growth stock at a reasonable valuation. Hey everyone, I'm excited to announce that my book is finally available for sale. I've been working on it for more than a year now, so I'm really excited to finally share this with you now. It goes through my framework for evaluating stocks. Some of you often ask why I like this stock or why I like the other stock, and this framework provides you the things that I look at when I'm evaluating stocks. I've added the link in the description below.